morning, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Titancraft. I'm going to start this episode off by showing off a new iteration of the skin I'd made. I'm aware that it's a little bit complicated and over-detailed, but that's what I get for attempting to make up a mini of my skin on Hero Forge and then getting inspired to take back new details for clothing back to my original skin. Regardless, I hope it ends up looking good, and if I decide in a few weeks that I don't like it, I have the ability to make Minecraft skins and can continue experimenting until I find one that I'm satisfied with. Now, I'm starting this episode off with attempting to actually finish up my nether tunnel. Since while it might be a little less fun watching me do something I've already shown the technique for on screen once, it'll be nice actually having my finished nether tunnel ready to go. Now I'm actually doing the leafing up of my nether tunnel in 2 parses. The first bit is getting the upper leaves, and then I will work on the ground cover. Because one of these two involves trying to figure out how to place scaffolding. And it's not the ground cover. This video might get renamed to Laurora vs. Scaffolding, Round 1 Fight. Well, it only took 3 attempts to get my scaffolding working. Alright, and I should continue having scaffolding because I need it to do things like get in here. This entire crevice gets to be full of leaves. I like mixing up more than one type of leaf on a given tree-like object, since I find that helps improve the depth that it manifests with. It looks like it has. That could use a little more flowers. Flowering azalea are always lovely. But yeah, just like a little bit of variety on the leaves involved means that when I'm looking in through the block of leaves, it ends up obstructing the view a lot more than if it was just one type of leaf, which allows me to make my walls look like they are significantly deeper than the 2 to 3 blocks of leaves that they actually are. That's too many flowering azalea. Let's put in some ordinary azaleas. Break it on up. Let's break that on up so that we still see the stone peeking on through. And I just restocked my leaves recently, but looks like I need to go grab some more azalea leaves to work on this. Though I did say that I like mixing up my leaves, and I stick to that conclusion. And I think I'm happy with that particular tree and how it's ended up expanding its leaves into the tunnel. One tree trunk down, countless many more to go. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you sit through every single tree, but I figured showing off a few of them allows you guys to see the massive amount of progress that's been made here. Remember when this was just like a dinky little nether bridge? Now I had more azalea leaves. Ah yes, and I didn't explicitly mention this, but we got a new arrival in the server fairly recently, and they put their nether portal on along this area, so when we extended the blast shield, they got invited into my nether tunnel. And so they have their little moon and facade connecting over into their base. I suppose that's what I get for making a nice long nether tunnel. Other people might decide that actually this is a nice road to be on. I can't imagine why, given all of the people who've come to visit and then complained about the interior of this tunnel being a flight health and safety hazard, but Puri Puri is welcome to join me in my tunnel of flight health and safety hazard. And I'm going to make sure that all of the health and safety hazard bits of the tunnel are within my personal area off the Nether Road, rather than extending out into the Nether Highway, unlike some other people who make what seem like relatively sane, healthy tunnels, except for the fact that the tunnel entrance is liable to catch anyone flying along the main Nether Highway. So let's mix it up, and this one can be mixed birch and spruce. Nice healthy tree. Evergreen bright leaves in the nether rather than the oak leaves that start to look a bit more like nice healthy bright green leaves. Because you can see that the standard oak leaves in the nether look like parched or dead leaves. And that's one of the other reasons for mixing it up with leaves. So I'm not stuck with just dead oak leaves, overly green azalea, or having to buy industrial quantities of spruce leaves because apparently nobody wants to sell that. I don't know why spruce leaves are unfairly biased against in our shopping district, but they are. So, and the light source is hiding in the dark, in the leaves. is so that the tunnel isn't entirely dark, and the little spots of light that you see as you glide on through, like they're just twinkling in the leaves as camera changes, I feel really add a feeling of depth and spookiness to the fairy wood here. And likewise, once I've properly leafed it over, the blue there just gives a feeling of depth into the forest. Sure, I could do ordinary leaves, but I feel like the blue also just gives a slight feeling of extra space. And I love how I'm making my nether tunnel, like 60% more cramped in the name of making it feel deeper. And yet, strangely enough, it kind of works some of the time. And this is probably me reusing more than a little bit of ramble from the last time I was working on my nether tunnel. But that was a few episodes back, so aeons and aeons ago, and you've probably all forgotten about it. At the very least, I know I have forgotten exactly what I rambled about, so it's fair game for me to ramble again. One of these times, I will successfully be able to place that block I was trying to place over. Okay, fine. Maybe I can't place that. I guess I'm just not gonna get any block into that corner. Be that way, Minecraft. Be that way. And then when I finally gave up and was trying to get that block... Minecraft, Minecraft, Minecraft. What will I do with you? Okay, keep playing, obviously, and make cool videos, but... And it's useful to have sometimes rhyme and reason, but at the same time, a little bit of irregularity is good for making your forest look more natural, or at least, more foresty. And that'd be a perfectly natural forest. But rigid adherence to rules can occasionally make a semi-naturalistic build fall down very flat very quickly. I would love to, through the power of editing, cut and just have this tunnel finished, but that might take a while. That tree is far too geometric, but every attempt I make to try to break up its profile keeps not working quite the way I intend it to. Okay, and I say that, and then I think I finally got something that actually works. How strange. Those two menaces pull together far too closely, don't they? That's just going to block up the entire tunnel. well. I'd already decided my nether tunnel is a unapologetic flying safety hazard. So let's do this. Now let's mix up this little spiral with some other leaf types so that it looks a little less like an underleafed. And once again, it is far too geometric, but that's what I get for having it all fit nice and neatly into an approximate square. There we go. Mix that up just a little bit. I have hit my limit for building this nether tunnel for one episode, which means you guys have almost certainly hit your limit for watching me build this nether tunnel for one episode. So I'm just going to deposit my leaves back in my shulkers and start working on some other little bit of my projects. Now into the phase of the shopping district where one spends a lot of the time wandering around trying to guess which, if any, of these shops still have anything in stock. I don't like those rates, but my usual supplier of bone blocks appears to have disappeared. And random comment for the day, pretty floor pattern on this here shop. And now Okay, when I'm not distracted by filming, let's try this again. When gliding down the nether tunnel at a reasonable speed, how one might fly on along safely through my tunnel. A guide. Now make sure that you're either going over or under that one. And at this distance, you may as well not activate any more rockets. I'd managed earlier today to get a perfect fly through my tunnel, but apparently trying to get it on camera just does not work. And now for the reasons why I was flying on back. But actually, I should first go grab a certain item out of my ender chest. How to train ender pearl proficiency. So let's just replace most of these white candles that are still sitting on around here with good, proper candles. Isn't purple just so much of a more satisfying color? I will find a use for 7 uncolored candles. And it looks like we can see in the distance, over here, the hint of something. Namely, my neighbor's progress towards extending their mountain on down. We talked through how our bases were going to connect, because it appears that they're trying to build a mountain as part of their base over that way. And for my idea of what I was going to do, starting up the vigil. Now I have died 8 times so far on Titancraft. Hang on, note. Statistics. Number of deaths, 8. Because I have my chapel for the beacon, but I may as well also just cover things in candles as a candle queen. And counting the number of times I've died so far on the server is as good a reason as any. If other members of the Ravine crew who happen to be watching this video decide they want in on our personal beacon, which I have stolen the idea from shamelessly from Pixel Riffs, do feel free to drop a comment either here or in Ravine crew, where I'm gonna also note about that. Oh, and it just looks so lovely with the sun coming up over the horizon, and wow. And I, as a person who sells candles of all colors, can obviously provide candles in whatever personal color other people want for keeping track of stuff on Titancraft. And I am aware that there are probably plenty of spawnable spaces in my cave. Aesthetic lighting is more important than practical lighting. I'm probably going to come through with the resource pack or whatever it was that let people see where the spawnable spaces were. Just because that might make it a little easier for me to properly troubleshoot. Yes, I see you down there, creeper. I also see my machine lagging horribly. But that happens. There had been a creeper here just moments ago, hadn't there? Am I hallucinating creepers now?
Thank you all, my lovely viewers, for sticking on around, and I hope to see you all again in the next episode.